Samir is asking for help from the VP of Operations to help to pay for the MBA program that he wants to attend. He thinks he'll be able to bring the company more prestige if he gets into a program. He just can't afford it. When he emailed Iona, she said that the head of the company, Mr. Baba, doesn't think it makes sense to send people off to their MBAs. He thinks it's best to have the employees get their hands dirty and give them the training that they need. She also said that he is worried that once people get their MBAs, they will have more credentials and therefore get recruited for better jobs. Anil is big on commitment, but Iona still offers to get a meeting with Samir. Iona emailed Anil, asking him on Samir's behalf for a meeting. She described Samir as a real asset to the company and explained that he's been working there for the past 5 years. He joined after completing his bachelor's in engineering and is now part of the operations team. However, he hopes to transition to a management position. He wants his MBA in order to do that, and that is why he's asking for the opportunity to cover the tuition. Samir understands that why Neil wouldn't be keen on his idea. He, however, knows the competition is getting more complex and thinks he'll benefit from a more contemporary perspective. After meeting with Samir, Anil emails Iona to say that she was right about Samir and that he is reminding of himself. Anil then continues to say that if he works hard for the next few years, he can be on his team, and wants Iona to see what he can do to keep him around. Iona talked to HR and made this deal. Samir will get his MBA paid for by the company, but he has to work for the company for at least 3 years after. If he leaves, then Samir has to repay the company for the tuition. Iona says that Samir is right about the advantages of having a few more MBAs around, so in the long run, it does seem positive. Anil agrees to have the HR draft the contract, and Iona sends it over to Samir. Iona then says to Anil that Anil's main worry is that he won't return after the MBA, and it's not about the money, it's about the precedent. If he sets a good example, Anil may see value in sending more people to get their MBAs, something Iona knows especially that other people want to do. If Samir violates his trust, no one else will have that chance. She asked Samir to promise that he was going to bring all the new knowledge and skills back to this company. Samir responds that he is fully committed to BAPA and will study hard and can come back to really help the company grow. After a year, Samir is finishing off his MBA school. It is seen that a woman, Dana Knight, emailed him about a job with Zeisberger Associates, which is a startup in Silicon Valley with the catch of having an amazing office, tennis courts, gourmet lunches, jazz music, and so much more. Samir says that although cool, he has another job that he has promised to return to after his school, so he would have to give it some thought. Dina again pushes Samir, saying that he needs to make a decision ASAP. The new contract with the company CloudSkim would be a base salary twice the size of what he would make at BABA, and would cover his MBA tuition with bonus. Samir emailed Iona saying that he had this opportunity. Iona responded that even though the job sounded fantastic, she reminded him that he gave his word that he would have to come back to BABA. She wants the person who she supported to make the right decision, not this new person who she quote-unquote is speaking to. Experts have debated whether or not Samir should go back to BABA or take the job at CloudSkim. One expert says that he should take the job at CloudSkim. His intellectual opportunities would be better there, and he has to reap the repercussions of breaking the moral obligation with BABA. Both parties need to make sure that there are no burned bridges. In reality, it's a market contract of sorts, and people have to adapt. As long as Samir honors the contract, it should be his decision ultimately. He needs to make everyone understand what a big opportunity this CloudSkim job would be, and how much more he would stand to gain in terms of personal development. He should also try to engage in a conversation with Anil that his presence at CloudSkim could benefit Baba, as people could explore how he could maintain ties with the company and create a sort of networking opportunity. Anil and Iona need to adapt to the changed circumstances and look at it from the perspective of does Anil really want to deny a promising young manager such an attractive opportunity. Another expert said that Samir should go back to Baba. He makes the point to say that many people who decide early on to go where the grass is greener often regret it. More dream jobs will come his way if he continues to be smart and work hard. This is a great chance to prove that he has principles, morals, and talents, and any company will be able to see that. His work that he will do after he returns to Baba will be much more interesting than before. Anil and Iona wouldn't have sent him on to business school if they wanted him to go back to his old job. Samir needs to prove to Baba that sponsoring people for MBAs is worth it and to develop their skills. If he leaves, there is very little opportunity anyone else in the company will get the same opportunity as he did, especially considering that his friend Patrick also has expressed that he wants to take the same decision and route as he has. This expert advises Samir to be cautious of the headhunters as sometimes they can be sneaky in their ways. Anil and Iona should have done a better job for keeping in touch with Samir. They should have asked him every month how he was doing and make sure to keep that connection open, and that may have swayed Samir into a positive decision towards Baba. All in all, I think that Samir should go back with Baba. He has more obligation to do so, and also he's a leader in the sense that he sets the precedence for many others. I also think that Iona should not put the pressure on Samir to begin with, and I think that she shouldn't didn't then it would make a decision for him to come back. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think Iona should have initially said the decision and promise. I think it should have been Samir's decision all along, and I think that it would have made it easier for Samir to go back to the company if he had that. But I do think that Samir should go back to Baba.